Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Frank Finance, where you can get your honest financial information and your questions answered. Today's discussion is going to be talking about bank bonuses. Yes, a bank will pay you to leave money with them, and you are able to cash out and have no penalties. And also, by the way, did I mention this doesn't hurt your credit check? So today we're going to talk through a couple different key points. So first and foremost, what you should know, the time commitments, as well as at the end we'll go through a couple examples for a few banks, and I will leave the links below. So let's get started and make it rain. Alright, so what is a bank bonus? Well, a bank bonus is when a bank gives you an offer, let's call it $100, for you to start and try their services. Now, why would they give you $100? Well, first and foremost, it's easy cash for them to try to let you experience their service and try to reel you in as a customer. Also, on the flip side, when they put in requirements to have a minimum direct deposit, or when they require you to have a minimum balance, if you don't achieve that, they'll hit you with a service fee, which will help them get some of that money back. On top of that, banks are required to have a certain amount of cash on hand so that they can lend out mortgages. So the more cash that they hold on hand, they can also lend out money to others, which allows them to also use your funds for leveraging loans. Let's talk about the time commitment. So the way I think about the time commitment of a bank bonus is it's really geared between four, call it tranches. Tranche number one, you got to go out and find it and sign up online. Really quick, easy Google search, and again, I will have a couple banks in the links below. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to sign up and fill out the application. Then you're going to have about 10 to 15 minutes to actually change your direct deposits at your work to ultimately meet the requirements that are needed. I also add about 10 to 15 minutes of added time to your tax returns because you will be required to pay tax on these, so you need to have the 1099s issued to you. There's also about another 10 to 15 minutes worth of time that's required to ultimately go close your bank out if you don't want to stay with them. Alright, so really I've kind of alluded to a couple of these, but there's four really big things you need to know when you're filling out bank bonuses. First and foremost, read the fine print. Because when you read the fine print, you're going to find out how long they require you to ultimately keep cash on hand, or what you need to do to achieve the bank bonus. And when you get the bank bonus, it is a taxable event. And so with that being said, you'll be required to pay federal at your highest tax bracket and state. So think of it this way: if you get to the 22% tax bracket in federal and you get about 5 to 7% in state, you could be paying nearly 30% on these bank bonuses. So that might maybe deter you from actually going through this process for that simple reason. Also, when you think of the credit score, this is not a credit score impact. And from experience, I can tell you, I guarantee you this does not impact your credit score. I have never experienced it in my life through every bank bonus I've gone through. It goes through what is called a check system. The check system goes and looks to see if you've had delinquent bank accounts closed out before and things like that nature. Also, we'll check to see if you've had a bank account with them in the past. So altogether, it's just a simple check. It does not impact your credit whatsoever. And then the final thing is you're thinking about things to know. When you're thinking, is this worth it? Well, let's put this in perspective. If you were to give a bank $1,000 and you leave it there for 6 months, and in return they give you $100, at the end of the 6 months, you can pull the bank out and get the cash back in your hand. If they were to give you $100 on $1,000, that's 10% cash on cash return in a 6-month window. So if you had, call it an extra $1,000 or $2,000 sitting around, you could in theory go from bank to bank to bank until it's done, and then be returning 10% for, it seems indefinite because it would take you a while to get through all the banks for the time period, but you could make a nice sum of cash to go on a trip or buy that nice thing that you want to buy. And finally, what is the size of the bonuses? Well, for any ones that I've been a part of, they'll start at about $50 if they're referrals or entries and they don't really have much for requirements. And they'll go all the way up to anywhere between $500 plus per bank bonus. The ones that are in excess of $500 or higher are going to require things like $4,000 in direct deposits over multiple months, or they're going to require you to put anywhere up to, call it, $5,000 to $10,000 into a money market or savings account. Some are even up to $20,000. So really, when you're looking at the bank bonus, you have to ask yourself, are you looking for checking or are you looking for money market? The money markets are going to require large sums of funds, get you some interest, get you a nice bank bonus, and then at 6 months to a year, you'll be able to pull it out. And if you're looking at checking, then you're going to be looking at more short-term in nature, and really the way to achieve the goals of the checking account, you're going to hit direct deposit requirements, and then you're going to have to hold a small minimum balance if you shut off those direct deposits, and you ultimately want to not get a service fee. So with that, let's get into 3 quick bank bonuses and talk about them. All right, so the 3 that we're going to review today are going to be Wells Fargo, Chase, and Associate Bank. Quick reminder, you do need to have these banks in your region in order to get the bank bonus. So you can't get banks that are off on the East Coast when you live in California, or vice versa. So a good thing to do is when you're going through the process, make sure that that bank is part of your area and that it qualifies. Sometimes it's easy to call the online service and look at it, but let's kick it off here with Wells Fargo. So this one's doing a $200 bank bonus to sign up with them. So when you look at this, it always has an asterisk. Basically means to go down to the bottom and read what's going on. So as we go down to the bottom here, it basically says open up a new checking account with a minimum deposit of $25. Once you open that up, there's going to be a minimum service fee of $10 per month unless you can achieve the $500 minimum daily balance. So this is what I was talking about earlier, and you can see this in the box down here. Or you have $500 more in direct deposits per day. So this is a way to avoid the service fee. All right, then second, so now you've opened up the bank account, you're now getting the monthly deposits, or you have a monthly cash just sitting there on the side. Receive a total of $2,000 or more in direct deposits to the new checking account within 90 days from account opening. That's not too bad. If you're paid bi-monthly or bi-weekly, you're looking at less than $500 a check sent to this, and you would achieve it. Now, it doesn't say that it requires you to do it all at one time or over multiple, so as long as you send $2,000 to them, you've achieved their goal. The other thing what I was saying about is when you're looking at the fine print, so you want to scroll down to the bottom and read through the eligibilities here. So for instance, if you've had an account before, you won't be able to get the offer. If you're an employee, you won't be able to get the offer. And then it also walks through the other things and how long it'll take till you get paid. Some of them are instant. I've had some of them within a week. I've also had some of them pay them out. It takes up to 2 months from the time of you achieving the goal. So it really comes down to when they set the period, and it's really important to read this fine print at the bottom. It's always down at the bottom. And remember, you're going to want to document all of this stuff because it will come as a taxable event. Let's jump to the next one, Chase. So Chase is one of the best bank bonuses out there. They pay you so quick. I love them as a bank, and I actually ended up getting a credit card with them. So they're phenomenal to work with. The one thing I didn't like about Wells Fargo, by the way, just to do a quick high level, is the only thing that kept me from staying with a Wells Fargo was because their ATMs were really scrutinized and how much you could take out, and it was a pain. If I ever needed cash and I needed up my limit, it wasn't something I could just do over the phone. It completely deteriorated me from going there, and so I closed out my account with Wells Fargo pretty quickly. Now Chase, as I mentioned, great bank, great enrollment, cut and dry, to the point, very easy to open their accounts. Not only is it easy to open their accounts, but if you open with them, you can get a referral link to have other people open with them. And there's no referral links below, by the way. So this is just going through the Chase website and opening this up. And so what you'll see here is to get $225, you need to open up a new checking account and set up direct deposit within 90 days. Notice how there's a 2 and a 1. You'll want to scroll down and find that. So first and foremost, monthly service fee, $12 or zero if you have 500 more in direct payments, or a balance of 1,500, or an average balance of 5,000 with multiple accounts. So you kind of have 3 ways to avoid that fee, which is great. Walks through how to do it, when to open it by, and then down here at the bottom, this is the 1 and the 2 that you need to know. So for instance, this one, account closures, very key to know this. If the checking account is closed within 6 months after the enrollment, the bonus will be deducted at closing. So you got to make sure you know when it was opened and get well past that 6 months. So this is an instance where you leave $1,500 with them, you do a couple direct deposits. Once you're above the $1,500, you pull the cash out, and then you let it sit there for 6 months. They pay you $225 on $1,500. I'm not a math wizard, but that's well more than 10% cash on cash return, right? And that's in 6 months. So if you did this with 2 banks, you'd be averaging 20% cash on cash return, which is amazing. And good luck getting that in the stock market. You would need some crypto craziness in order to get that type of return consistently and have absolutely no risk. This is guaranteed no risk. All right, let's look at the last one here. So this one is where there's a step-tiered one, Associate Bank. This is the one thing I didn't like about Associate Bank was they required me to keep, call it $1,000 with them for an entire year. But it was a very easy bonus return for them. So again, it gave me well over a 10% cash on cash return. So with this one has a tiered structure. And again, as you go to Associate Bank, here's the one, and you would go in here and look and say, okay, where do I sign up and what do I want to sign up for? And then that $500, let's scroll down to the bottom and show you what this means. And again, here it talks to you about the direct deposits and how long it has within the opening time frame. And it says you'll collect your bonus within 120 days. So this one's a long-tailed bonus return. So here it tells you on opening the account, you'll receive you need to do a $500 direct deposit within 90 days. That's part one. And then down here it says, how do you determine your bonus? Well, it's gonna calculate the sum of the deposits, and if you're between 1,000 and 5,000, you get 200. If you're between 5,000 and 999, you get 300. And if you're over 10,000, you get 500. So this is again a more unique one. You'd have to read this to understand that, and this is why it's so important you read the fine print, because these are easy bank bonuses. You could do this one a night, and if you have the bandwidth in your direct deposits, it's so easy to get these bonuses. I would highly recommend that you look into this. It is the easiest cash you will ever get, by far. Again, this was Wells Fargo, Chase, and Associate. I had used all these banks and tried them, and I actually stayed with Chase. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't done a bank bonus before, don't be scared to sign up for them. I spent half my life, I'm not that old, half my life with one bank. And I didn't realize that other banks gave bonuses and really nice interest rates. And until I left one and finally figured this out firsthand, it was one of the biggest mistakes ever to sit there and wait and change a bank. There's nothing scary about opening a new bank account. There's nothing scary about transferring money and being able to go out and pull the money back when you need it. You just need to make sure you understand what their requirements are so you don't get the monthly fee, and understand that it will take some time to get your bank bonus, and once you get that bank bonus, it will be taxable. But outside of that, it is one of the easiest pieces of money that you will ever be able to earn, and you get to test their products. They pay you to test their products. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I hope you found this video informational, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you have time, tune in to our Twitch chat Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Central. We'll be on for about 2 hours. Thank you.